Welcome everybody to a 60-minute Ashtanga flow. So typically Ashtanga is a 90-minute flow. There's 45 minutes of standing and 45 minutes of seated poses. But today we're going to do an introduction to Ashtanga. So some of those poses will be taken out of the flow so that we can do it in 60 minutes. Now, in a traditional Ashtanga practice, you have an opening chant and a closing chant. If you want to follow me on Spotify, I have a playlist called Ashtanga, and you can play the opening chant before you begin your practice, and you can play the closing chant at the end of the practice. But today, we're just going to start with an Om, so take a big inhale. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, step or jump to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog for 5 breaths. Using that Ujjayi breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Coming up to your toes, bend your knees, float or step to the front of your mat. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, jump or step to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog for 5 breaths. Making sure you've got no tension in your fingertips. Pressing back through those hamstrings, lifting that tailbone. 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Coming up on your toes, bend your knees, float or step forward. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, jump or step to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, 5 breaths. 4 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Take a big inhale, come up on your toes, step or float forward. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Now in a traditional practice, we would do 5 rounds of sun salutation A and B, but because we're in reduced flow, we'll just do 3. So coming into sun salutation B, sitting back in your heels, fingertips touch the earth, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jump or step to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg comes up. In the same breath, bring that right foot forward, left heel in, warrior 1. 1 breath, take those palms back down. Right foot comes back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg comes up, bring it forward, right heel in, warrior one. Exhale, palms come down. Left foot back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, 5 breaths. 4 more breaths. 3, 2, 1 more breath. Coming up to your toes, bend your knees, float or step forward. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Reach all the way up. Exhale, hands, heart center. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jump or step to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg up. Right foot between your hands, left heel in. Warrior one. Exhale, palms down. Right foot back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg up. Left foot between your hands, right heel in, warrior one. Exhale, palms come down. Left foot back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, 5 breaths. 4 more breaths. 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Coming up to your toes. Bend your knees, float or step. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Reaching all the way up. Exhale, hands, heart center. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jump or step to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg up. Right foot between your hands, left heel in, warrior one. Exhale, palms down. Right foot back plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg up. Left foot between your hands, right heel in, warrior one. Exhale, palms down. Left foot back plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, 5 breaths. 4 more breaths. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And 1 breath. Coming up to your toes. Bend your knees, float or step forward. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. Reach all the way up. And Samastiti. Just take a little hop. Bring your feet underneath your hips. Hands to your hips. Standing tall. Forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Grab for your big toes. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Bend those elbows, drawing your chin into your chest. Weight is slightly in your toes. And we're here for 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that right hand under your right foot, left palm under your left, trying to draw your toes in toward your wrists, taking a big inhale. Exhale, bend those elbows, draw yourself in deeper. 5 breaths here. Drawing that tailbone up, working that torso toward your thighs, lifting up on those toes to draw you deeper into the stretch. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And bring your hands to your hips. Looking forward, inhale, come up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to take our hands to our hips. Take your right foot to the back of your mat. So you're going to turn to the right. Turn your right toes toward the back wall. Left heel is out. Left toe in about 45 degrees. Reach those arms out. Inhale that right hand forward. Look to your left. Drop that right hand down and try to grab for that right big toe. Lifting up through that left palm. Twisting from your torso, taking your eye gaze to that left thumb. Using that breath here. 4 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Looking to that left thumb, engage your core, come back up, arms wide. Turn those right toes forward, left toes toward the front. Right toes at a 45-degree angle. Inhale that left hand forward, look to your right. Let that left hand drop. If you can, grab for that left big toe. Reach with that right hand, drawing that heart open. Grounding into that back foot. Keep reaching that right hand up, using that breath. 3 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Look to that right hand, engage your core, come back up. Bring your hands to your hips, draw that right foot to your left. Hands to heart center, Samastiti. Taking a breath here. Bring that right foot back to the back of the mat. Whoop. Take your right toes back. And we're going to inhale that right hand forward, cartwheel those arms, take that left hand to the inside of that right foot, looking up toward that right hand. Coming into revolve triangle, grounding into the back of that foot. If you have more flexibility, feel free to take that left hand on your foot or to the outside of your foot. Drawing those bandhas in, twisting a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Engage your core, cartwheel those arms back up. Opening up, turn those right toes in. Left toes toward the front. Inhale that left hand forward. Cartwheel those hands down. Reach that left hand up. Coming into revolve triangle. Twisting from your torso, grounding into the back of that foot. Drawing those bandhas in to twist a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Draw that core in, cartwheel back up. Hands to your hips, bring that right foot back to the front of the mat. Hands to heart center, Samastiti. Taking a breath here. Take your hands back to your hips, right foot to the back of the mat. Right toes to the back wall. Bend that right knee. Inhale those arms out. You're going to come into side angle, so you can bring your right hand to the inside of that right foot, or if you have more flexibility, take it to the outside of that right foot. Draw that knee into your elbow, and bring that left hand over your ear, long side body. Using that breath. 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Lift that left hand up. Look to your thumb. Engage your core. Come back up. Turn those right toes forward, left toes to the front. Bend that left knee. Draw that left hand to the inside of that left foot. Or you can bring it to the outside of that left foot, squeezing that knee in toward your elbow. Reaching that right hand over your ear. Long side body. Working it through that rib cage, twisting up. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Take that right hand up, engage your core, come back to center, hands to your hips, right foot meets your left. Samastiti. Taking a breath in and out. Hands back to your hips, right foot to the back of the mat. Right toes toward the back wall, 45-degree angle with that back foot. Bend that right knee, open those arms. You're going to cartwheel your arms, take that left tricep to the outside of that right thigh, right palm on top of your left, pressing into those palms or into the outside of that foot. Now, if you have more flexibility, open those arms, take that left hand down, right arm up. Using that breath. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bring those palms together. Come back to center. Open up those arms. Right toes forward, left toes front. Bend into that left knee. Cartwheel those arms. Revolve side angle. Left palm on top of your right. Lifting that torso up off of your thigh. Staying here or opening those arms. Using that breath. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And cartwheel those arms back up. Hands to your hips. Right foot meets your left at the front of the mat. And Samastiti. Take a breath in and out. Now we're going to take our right foot to the back of the mat. Both toes point forward. And we're going to bring our hands to our hips, or you can bring it to your tailbone, fingertips pointing up. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, forward fold with a flat back. Coming into Prasarita, but bringing those palms between your feet, elbows facing the back wall, pressing into the earth, big toes in, heels out. Weight is in your toes, using that breath. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bring your hands to your hips, press through your feet, coming back up. Take your hands to your tailbone, elbows come back, looking up, lift up. Hinge from your hips, ground into the outside of your feet. Keep those elbows working back toward each other. Draw that forehead toward the earth. Keep drawing your shoulder blades together. Breathing here. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Press through your feet. Inhale and come back up. And draw those hands behind you. Clasp your hands and try to draw those palms together. Drawing those shoulder blades together. Inhale, lifting your gaze up. Exhale, take those hands over your head, working that forehead toward the earth, drawing those hands over your head. Keep using that breath to take you a little bit deeper, drawing in your bandhas to go deeper into the stretch. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Press through your feet, come back up. Drawing your hands to your hips. Bring your hands back to your tailbone, lifting that heart, lifting your gaze. Inhale, look up. Hinging from your hips, open up those arms. I want you to grab for your shins, your ankles, or if you can grab for your toes, pull up on your toes, bending those elbows, drawing your torso through your thighs, drawing your forehead closer toward the earth. Breathing here, 4 more breaths. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Press through your feet. Inhale and come up. Draw that right foot back to the front of the mat. And come into Samastiti. Taking a breath here. Bring your hands back to your hips. You're going to turn back to the back of the mat. Turn your right toes toward the back of the mat. And you only want about 6 inches between your right foot and your left, lining up your heels. Square your hips toward the back of the room. Inhale those arms up. Pointer finger comes up, look up. Exhale, reach forward. Only let your pointer finger touch. Squeezing those ears. Working that right hip back, left hip forward. 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Press through your feet, engage your core, come back up. Keep those arms where they are. Turn your toes forward toward the front of the room. Right foot's at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, look up. Exhale, reach forward, squeeze those ears. Only thing touching is your pointer finger. Let your forehead work toward that shin. Using that breath. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale, reach back up. Take your hands to heart center. Bring that right foot back up to the front of the mat. Hands to heart center. Samastiti. Taking a breath in and out. So we're going to bring our feet back underneath our hips. Spreading our toes. Rooting our feet down. Lifting our quads. Drawing our shoulders down our back. Lifting through the crown of your head. We're going to take the left hand to our hip. Grab for that big toe. So you can keep that knee bent if you need to. Biggest thing to focus on is that standing leg. Or you can draw that leg out straight, squaring those hips, squaring your shoulders, using that breath. 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And we're going to take that foot out to the side. So you can bend that knee if you need to. Keep that drishti, keep that focus. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Bring that back to center. You can lift up if you like. You're going to engage that leg. Take that right hand to your hip. Keep that foot flexed for 5 breaths. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Lower that down. Bring your hands to either side. Palms facing forward. Take a breath in. And out. We're going to take our right hand on our hip this time. Grab for that left big toe. You can keep that knee bent. Make sure that standing leg is engaged, or straighten that leg. Drop that left hip so that you're square toward the front of the room. Shoulders are square. Using that breath. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Take that leg out to the side. That knee can be bent as long as you're not compromising that standing leg. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. We're going to draw that foot back to center. Maybe lift up. Engage that leg. Take that left hand to your hip. Flex those toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just bicycling those legs. Whatever you need here, bring those palms forward. Take a big breath in and out. Now we're going to go into tree pose. So you can bend that knee to the side, bring it under your knee, over your knee, or you can come into half lotus. So if you're in half lotus, you want to try to draw the sole of your foot forward, and you can hold on to it with your left hand if you like. And you're going to bring your right hand around and maybe grab for the inside of that left arm. Or if you have more flexibility, you can grab for that right toe. So you can stay right here, or you can hinge from your hips. Take that right hand down toward the earth, left hand to the earth, or you can grab for that right big toe. Take a big inhale, look past your nose, and exhale, forward fold. Drawing that right knee toward the earth. 3 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Slight bend in that left knee. You're going to carefully come back up. Drop that right foot. And come back to Samastiti. Take a breath in and out. Coming onto your left side, come to your option for this pose. One side might feel different than the other depending on your flexibility. You can bring that left hand behind your back if you like, or grab for that left big toe. Find that standing leg, find that drishti. And you're going to hinge from your hips, maybe grabbing for that toe, bringing that right hand to the earth or on a block if you have a block. Working into that stretch, drawing that left knee toward the earth. 4 more breaths. 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to bend that knee, slowly come back up. Bring your hands to heart center, drop that left foot. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jump or step back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We're going to come up on our toes, float forward. Take a big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, and bring your palms together. Sitting back for 5 breaths. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. Exhale, bring those palms down. If you like, coming into crow pose, looking forward, maybe drawing one toe up or both, looking past that nose, holding here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Step or float to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Coming up to your toes. Bend your knees, float or step forward. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands heart center. We're going to take our hands to our hips. Bring that left foot back this time, bending into that right leg. We're going to come up into warrior one, grounding into that foot. Finding that breath. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Keep your arms where they are. Straighten that leg. Turn your right toes forward, left toes back. Warrior one to the back wall. Breathing into it. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Take your arms out wide, warrior two. Keep that breath moving. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Straighten that back leg. Turn those toes to a 45-degree angle. Right toes forward. Warrior two. 5 breaths here. 4 breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands to your hips. Left foot comes forward. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale with a flat back. Jump or step to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Coming up to your toes. Jump or step to a seated position. Bringing those feet forward. Sitting tall in staff pose or dandasana. We're going to take the flesh away from our sits bones. Inhale our arms up. Exhale, grab for those big toes. Lift that heart. Elbows come out to the side. Draw that chest forward. For 5 breaths. Keep working that chin forward. Elongating that spine. 3, 2, and 1. Now in Ashtanga we do vinyasas between our sets. So you're going to cross your ankles, pull up, bring those palms forward to come to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale down dog. Float back to a seated position. Coming back to Dandasana, sitting tall. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, this time try to grab for your wrists, your hands around the balls of your feet. Maybe taking a strap if you have that. Lifting that chest, take a big inhale. Exhale, draw those elbows out and chin forward. 5 breaths here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release those hands, cross those ankles, lift up, coming into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step or float back to a seated position. Bringing our hands behind us, fingertips forward. Point your toes coming into revolve plank. Looking back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those hips down. And we come back into our vinyasa. Leaning back in a seated position. This time we're going to come into a half lotus, drawing that right foot into the crease of our thigh and our hip, maybe drawing that right knee down. So you may need a block underneath that right hip to help release that pelvis. It's up to you. Now, if you have the flexibility, you can grab for that big toe, or you can take a strap or a towel around that toe and use it to help you grab for that foot. You're going to inhale that left hand up. Exhale, reach for the outside of that left foot. Draw that chin forward. Square off those shoulders. And come into your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles, lift up, vinyasa. Leaning back and down dog. Taking that right leg out this time, left foot into your right groin, dropping that left knee, reaching around for that big toe if you can reach it. Right hand comes up, lift. Exhale, reach forward, grab for the outside of that right foot, drawing that chin forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross those ankles, lift up, float back, and kneeling back in a seated position. But this time we're going to go into half hero. So you can bend that right knee, and you're going to sit to the inside of that right foot. Now, if you need to lift that left hip up, you can even just take a towel to lift you slightly up, or a block. We're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale, grab for that foot. Maybe grab for your wrists around the ball of that foot, drawing that chest forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Release that towel or block. Cross your ankles, lift up, flip, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog, and come back to your left side. Sitting to the inside of that left foot. So you may take a strap or a block underneath that right hip to even out your hips. Reach those arms up. And exhale, forward fold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you're going to release up. Cross your ankles, lift up, float, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Meet in a seated position. Left foot forward. Take that right foot to the inside of that left thigh for Janushirasana A. So bring that left hand to your hip. Reach that right hand up. Grab for the outside of that ankle, foot, shin, left hand to the inside. Square those shoulders. Take a big inhale. Exhale, forward fold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that. Cross those ankles. And vinyasa. Coming to the other side, right leg out, left foot to the inside of that right thigh. Right hand to your hip, reach up. Grab for the outside of that foot. Right hand to the inside. Inhale. Exhale, draw that chest forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross those ankles. Come to your vinyasa. And come back to a seated position. This time, we're going to take our right foot and bring it parallel with our left knee. So you can take a fist and just draw that foot in and squeeze that knee into your shoulder. You're going to bring that left hand on your hip and take your right hand to the outside of that left foot and still squeeze that knee in. So you may be here, or you can take that arm around and come into a bind. So if you want to use a strap or a towel between your hands, you can. You're going to draw that chest forward. Keep working into the inside of that right foot for 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And cross those ankles. Lift up, vinyasa. Leaning back in a seated position. This time that left knee is bent. Flexing those right toes. Grabbing for the outside of that right foot. Squeeze that knee in. Or you can bind, square off those shoulders, flex your right toes, draw that chest forward, elongate your spine. Working to the inside of that left foot. 4 more breaths. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And release. Cross those ankles. And lift up. Come back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Leaning back in a seated position. You're going to keep that right knee bent and walk that right foot to your knee. And maybe draw that knee over so that you can take that left hand to the outside of that right knee, looking over your shoulder, flexing those left toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross those ankles and vinyasa. Leaning back in a seated position, bending that left knee. Drawing that knee over, getting that right arm to the outside of that left knee, flexing those toes, look over that shoulder for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release, cross those ankles, float back, vinyasa. And we're going to float our feet forward and come into a lotus pose. So what that is you bring your right foot up and then your left. Sitting here, you can bring those palms up. And what we're going to do is lift between lotus and boat pose 5 times. So you're going to take your palms down, lift up, lift back down, take those legs out, come into boat. Use that breath. Come back to lotus. Maybe switching sides if you like. Lift up. Lower down. Come back to boat. Lotus. Lift up. Lower down. Boat. Lotus. Lift up. And come back down. Last boat. lotus, lift up, and lower that down, vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we're going to take our feet to the front of the mat and bring them out wide. So we're going to flex our toes, grab for our toes, take a big inhale. Exhale, maybe draw ourselves forward, bend those elbows, working that chest forward. Find that breath. Now, I want you to focus on engaging your core. And we're going to lift those legs up, coming into balance, drawing that heart open. And with control, we're going to roll on our spine and take those feet behind our head. So take a big inhale. And exhale. Come back, drop those toes behind your head. You're going to engage your core again, roll back up, come back to balance. Pushing through those heels, draw those shoulders back. We're going to roll back, come back to plow. Holding those toes. One more set, come back up, hold here. Come back to plow. And release that back down, cross your ankles, vinyasa. And this time, when you come back forward, you're going to jump your feet to the outside of your hands, coming into a squat. So staying here for a moment, maybe sitting tall, drawing the shoulders back, heels in, toes out. Now we're going to work into Titibhasana or firefly pose. So we're going to take our hands behind our heels and we're going to sit back on our triceps and walk those feet in. So this may be where we stay, or we can use our core, draw those toes up, cross our ankles if we like, or we can take those legs out, pressing through our palms, lifting through our belly. And we're going to release that, jump back, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. So yoga's about laughing at yourself. It's totally fine to fall, get back up and try again. So we are going to come back to a seated position, working toward our backs. Bringing the soles of our feet together, drawing our inner thighs toward the earth. Both shoulders are on the mat. Staying here for a moment. Now bringing the soles of your feet to the earth. I'll actually come sideways. We're going to come into bridge pose here. So you're going to press the soles of your feet into the earth. Draw your knees forward. Letting your hips follow for 5 breaths. You can turn your palms up if you like, and maybe touch your heels with your fingertips. So the backs of your hands are on the mat. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Lowering that back down, So you can come into bridge again, or you can do full wheel, where you're going to take your hands to either side of your ears, maybe just lift up on your head, or press all the way up. And slowly lowering down wherever you are. Now, you can somersault vinyasa if you have that in your practice, or just cross your ankles, bring your hands forward, float back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we're going to come back forward, coming to a seated forward fold. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, grab for those toes. Draw that chin forward. Elongate that spine. Two more breaths. One more breath. And we're going to roll all the way back, coming into a shoulder stand. So we're going to bring our feet up. And if you don't have shoulder stand in your practice, you can stay here just bringing our palms together. If you do, you're going to lift your hips up, walk those hands up on your tailbone, making sure you're not on your neck. Lifting through your quads, your kneecaps, reaching through your toes. Finding that breath. Maybe closing your eyes, focusing on that third eye. If you have it in your practice, taking those toes over your head. Maybe only letting your toes touch. Using that breath. Or you can bend those knees, squeeze your knees to your ears, touching those big toes together. Now, if you have this in your practice, you can come into lotus, crossing that right leg over your left leg over your right, and drawing those knees toward your shoulders. Using that breath. Slowly lowering down one vertebrae at a time. With control, extend those legs. With control, lower down slowly for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. You're going to bend your elbows here. Coming into fish pose, lift that heart and draw that forehead to the earth. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay where you are. Lift those feet up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can somersault here or vinyasa. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, down dog. Coming back forward on the mat. We're going to go into child's pose. So just bending your knees. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, take that pointer finger forward. Maybe the pinky fingers to the earth. Drawing your forehead to the mat. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale that back up. Come to seated to the front of your mat. And we're going to come back into lotus pose. Maybe crossing your hands behind your back, maybe grabbing your elbows. If you can grab for your toes, you can. You're going to take a big inhale. Exhale, draw yourself forward and drop your forehead to the earth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale and come up. Staying in your seated lotus pose, bring your palms up. Bring your first finger and your thumb together. Just closing your eyes. 5 breaths here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to take your hands to either side of your hips, and we're going to lift up for 5 breaths for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing down. Here you can play the closing chant for your Ashtanga practice. We're going to close today with 1 Om, taking a big inhale. You can come into Savasana here and end your practice. You can stay in meditation if you like. I want to thank you for joining me today and getting a taste of what Ashtanga is. Namaste.